Flash floods from Tropical Storm Ida have swamped New York City. The remnants of the storm caused massive flooding in America's financial and cultural capital, and it's also left the boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens inundated by the deluge. At least 8 people have lost their lives in flash floods in New York City. Eyewitness videos from the city of New York showed rainwater from Tropical Storm Ida gushing into subway stations. These visuals are from the Jefferson Street station. Many of New York's subway stations were submerged in water. Flash flooding turned platforms and stairwells into waterfalls, bringing a century-old system grinding to a halt. Nearly all of New York City's subway lines were suspended. Some roads in New York City were completely submerged. Videos posted on social media showed multiple motorists stranded in their vehicles in Yonkers. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio declared a state of emergency due to what he called a historic weather event, and he urged residents to move to higher ground. Just outside of New York City, in Rye, people were seen walking through water up to their thighs on Wednesday night. The National Weather Service recorded more than 3 inches of rain in New York's Central Park in an hour. That's far surpassing the 1.9 inches that fell in 1 hour during Tropical Storm Henri on August the 21st, which was at the time believed to be the most ever recorded in the park. In Staten Island and in Queens, vehicles were completely inundated, and they were seen floating in floodwaters. On top of that, hundreds of flights had to be cancelled at nearby Newark, LaGuardia and JFK airports, and flooding has closed major roads across Manhattan and the boroughs of Queens and the Bronx. Streets in Brooklyn were also submerged, and residents were seen wading in thigh-high water. Meanwhile, in the neighbouring state of New Jersey, the governor there, Phil Murphy, also declared a state of emergency in response to Ida, which has been downgraded to a tropical storm. At least 5 flash flood emergencies were issued on Wednesday, stretching from just west of Philadelphia through northern New Jersey. Hurricane Ida slammed into the southern state of Louisiana on Sunday, bringing severe flooding and tornadoes as it blazed a trail of destruction through the north. It caused heavy damage in the states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey and Maryland. The tornado ripped up streets and toppled electricity poles. More than 70,000 homes and businesses were left without power. Hurricanes are common in the southern United States, but scientists have warned of a rise in cyclone activity, saying that climate change poses an increasing threat to the world's coastal communities. Well, for the latest on this, we can cross to our WION correspondent, Susan Tirani, who's joining us live from New York. Well, Susan, look, we've seen incredible footage of this flood. What's the situation like currently where you are?
Absolutely incredible, Nick. What a difference a few hours makes. The sun is shining. People are out and about right now. And while there was a state of emergency declared until around 5 a.m. this morning, subway systems are running and that state of emergency has been lifted. But it was a shock, really, to New York City. We really didn't expect something like this to happen, notably the flood. And for the first time in New York history, we saw flash flood emergencies really coming through last night. Not 1, but 5. As you mentioned, unfortunately, we did see deaths. We saw 8 deaths, and most of those deaths were in basements because the level of water just came high. it was difficult to evacuate, ages ranging from 2 years old to 50 years old. But right now, I'm just going to stand back. As you can see behind me, the sun is shining, water has subsided. Even the images that you've seen on social media perhaps, and that are coming out from news wires of the biggest freeway, the FDR Drive, and also on the West Side Highway as well, which was submerged in water. Those levels have went down, and people are driving on the freeway both sides of the Manhattan Island out and about.
Susan, the weather certainly having improved there, but I guess it's going to be an incredible clean-up operation from here on out. Does it feel like emergency services have the situation under control?
That's the main concern right now, and officials here right now are really relying not only on local cleanup operations, but they're saying because this was so unexpected that they're hoping that they'll reach out to Washington, and they'll also get some help from FEMA and the federal government as well. Cleanup operations really are ongoing, and I did mention this and the situation in Manhattan. This situation right now, while it's been a lot better this morning, it's not completely dry outside of Manhattan, for example in Queens and outwards of the city, for example the Bronx and other boroughs as well. So we're going to rely on the officials here locally, but definitely it's going to branch out. We had a Congresswoman, Nicole Malliakatis, really saying that the federal government has to step in just because it was so unexpected. We really didn't expect something like this to happen so fast.
Susan, thank you very much. That was Susan Tarani reporting live from New York.